y'all, hey, it's Amber. Welcome back. And I'm back from vacation to bring you this week's movie talk where we go over the new releases for this upcoming weekend as well as the top 5 for the weekend's box office. We'll go over the changes of last weekend's top 5. We'll also be going over my predictions for this coming weekend's box office as well as what I have and have not been watching. So let's get started. Okay, so for the new releases this week, there's actually only one new release. Actually there's not. I'm an idiot and apparently I'm still in vacation mode because there's June 30th releases and then there's Friday, July 2nd. So my stupid ass just saw June 30th and thought, oh, that's Friday. Yeah, it's not. There's 2 other movies coming out this weekend. Boss Baby Family Business coming out on Friday, as well as The Forever Purge on Friday. I haven't seen either of these trailers. I don't plan on seeing any of these, but yeah, Zola's not the only one coming out this weekend, so back to me. Alright, so the only movie that's coming out this week is Zola. I believe that's how you say it. I actually saw this trailer a few weeks ago, I believe. It's definitely one of those like super indie movies that has kind of a weird feel to it, but I was kind of interested, so definitely check out the trailer to get your own idea of what I'm talking about. But I think you'll see what I'm talking about once you do watch the trailer, but I'm definitely interested in seeing it, so maybe I'll get around to watching it. Okay, so I'm back from vacation and boy was it so much fun. I can't even, it was just so much fun. So many filming locations. I got to see so many filming locations. It was great. Because I was on vacation, it means I didn't really get to watch anything this past week. The only thing I did get to watch was this movie called Two Hearts on Netflix, which was awful. Like literally, I give it all around award for most awfulest movie. Don't really have words. The main thing that is sad that it turned out so bad is it's based off of a true story, but also equally sad is the fact that I believe it's been done before in other movies. I just can't think of what movie and done better, and it bummed me out because I saw the trailer and yeah, the trailer looked really cheesy, but it looked like one of those cheesy like cutesy romantic movies and it was completely not that. If you want to watch it, watch it. It's on Netflix. Definitely check out the trailer. I don't recommend watching it. It wasn't good. It makes me sad to say. Speaking of trailers that I've watched, I did get to watch 2 trailers while on vacation that I'm super excited about. So the first movie is called Joe Bell, based off of a true story starring Mark Wahlberg. Why can't I say Mark Wahlberg's name? Starring Mark Wahlberg. Just go watch the trailer. It's a movie I am definitely all over. I watched the trailer all the way through the trailer. I'm like, yep, I'm seeing the shit out of this. I'm also predicting award nominations for Mark Wahlberg because you'll see when you watch the trailer. And that movie comes theaters July 23rd, so best believe I'll be going to go see it July 23rd. The other trailer I got to see while on vacation was The Shrink Next Door, which I am a blonde somehow because I have blonde moments all the time. And halfway through the trailer, not a clue as to what I should have realized with the title, The Shrink Next Door, but it was at the end with Paul Rudd and Will Ferrell talking that I realized, oh my god, this is that true story podcast I listened to like 2 years ago called The Shrink Next Door. No idea why that didn't click until the very ending, but I'm super excited to see this. Definitely check that out. I would go into specifics about these, but it's so much easier if you just check out the trailers, which I'll add the links to the trailers below so you can check them out. The Shrink Next Door film comes out November 12th of this year, so that's a bit of a wait, but I'm so excited for that one. That's going to be on Apple TV. Definitely check out the podcast. Really good podcast. It's one of those podcast true stories that's going to make you like, are you kidding me? Like, wait, this actually happened? This should be a movie. Well, now it is. So let's go over the changes of the top 10 actually. So the first change that I noticed was that Spirit Untamed came in at number 8 and last week it was at number 7. In the Heights was at number 7 this past weekend and the weekend before last was at number 6, so it's slowly going down, which again makes sense. Mainly because, you know, you could watch it, you could stream it from home as well as going to the theater, so that's hurting it that way. And the last change is The Conjuring 3 was number 6 this week, and last week it was number 4. So that was the surprise for me of the week because I was like, oh, what? And when we go over my predictions now, you'll understand why that was such a surprise. Alright, so my predictions for the top 5 for June 18th to June 20th before we get into the actual numbers for that weekend. I chose The Conjuring 3 as number 5 for that weekend. I chose number 4 to go to Peter Rabbit 2. The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard at number 3. A Quiet Place Part 2 at number 2. And, like we all predicted for the last month, Fast and Furious 9 at number 1. So those were my predictions for this past weekend, so let's see how well I did. Alright, so the top 5 is as follows. Coming in at number 5, which, like I just said, surprised the hell out of me that it wasn't Conjuring 3, was Cruella, making $3.7 million last weekend. The weekend before last, they were number 5, so they're hanging on to that number 5 spot. Number 4, as I predicted, was Peter Rabbit 2, making $4.85 million. In the following week, it was at number 3, so it's slowly going down, but I feel like it's going to stay kind of strong in at least the top 10. Number 3, as I also predicted, was Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, making $4.875 million. And the week before that, it was at number 1. So it makes sense to me. It's like I brought up last week, that type of action films, they don't tend to stay in the top for very long. Number 2, as predicted, is A Quiet Place Part 2, making $6.2 million last weekend, and the following week it was also number 2, so it's like hanging on to that number 2 spot, which I believe is mostly because you can only watch it in theaters, which I think is smart. Gotta get those people back in the theaters, and I get it, people are uncomfortable, but I've been going to the movies since August of last summer, and I've felt safe, so. Plus, it's kind of nice not having anybody in the theaters. And at number 1, for its opening weekend, like I, as well as everyone else on this planet probably predicted, The Fast and Furious 9, making $70 million its opening weekend, which I believe is the highest opening weekend for a movie in this pandemic, so. But everyone expected that. You saw how much money you made in China? Shit. Okay, so with those numbers out there, let's figure out my predictions for next weekend, which also, funny enough, is a holiday weekend and nothing big is coming out. Hey, it's me again. Just a reminder, I'm an idiot. There are 2 wide releases coming out this weekend. It's actually really funny now that I think about that. Oh, hey, yeah, me again. It actually is kind of funny knowing that Black Widow was at least smart enough not to come out the week after Fast and Furious, so that at least is funny. Back to me. With that said, I think the top 5 is going to stay kind of similar to what it is right now. So number 1 is going to be Fast and Furious 9. Number 2, I could see it still being A Quiet Place Part 2, but I could also see Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard kind of go back and forth between 2 and 3. I think I'm going to stick with Quiet Place 2 being number 2, Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard number 3. I think Peter Rabbit 2 still at number 4, and I don't know, man. I still feel like The Conjuring 3 will pop back up into number 5, and Cruella will get bumped down. It's a toss-up. Well, hell, for me, the toss-up is 2 and 3 as well. Well, with that said, you know, it is a holiday weekend, so there's going to be family. So I'm going to say Cruella is going to stick with number 5, since that's the other kind of family-oriented movie. So that's my top 5 for this coming 2nd through the 5th box office weekend. So how did you guys do with your predictions for June 18th to the 20th? Comment down below and let me know so we can talk about it, as well as give me your predictions for this upcoming weekend. I'll make sure to put mine as well down there so that we can talk about that as well. That's it for this week's movie talk. Like this video if you had fun with me today talking about movies. Comment down below your predictions, as well as how well you did with your predictions last week, so we could talk about that and get prepared for this upcoming holiday weekend. It is my birthday this weekend, so I apologize in advance if next week's video is a little tardy. That is why, if it is. And check out last week's video, which was posted Saturday instead of Wednesday, since I was actually on vacation. Make sure to check that video out so you can see 4 of the many locations we got to see from movies from my childhood. It was a lot of fun. Definitely comment down below if you want like a story time about our vacation. I can maybe talk Patrick into doing. Maybe show some pictures since we didn't take a lot of videos. Until next time, guys, be safe, be well, be silly, and as always, tell your mother I said hello.